Hello, Ember from Ember Writes here with your Ostara ritual. There's a few things that you will need before getting started, so I'll list them off and then you can pause the video if you want and go and grab them. Hopefully you have everything here. I tried to make it as simple as possible. You'll need a black and a white candle. These are little chime candles. You can get them at most metaphysical stores. Your usual setup on your altar, something that you can burn incense in. I have a little cauldron that I use, but you can use some sort of like a fireproof plate or something like that. Just be careful about what is underneath it if it's not fireproof or heat proof, because you can melt things underneath if it gets too hot. You'll need some balance incense. I'll make sure that the recipe for this is on my blog so that you can access that. You'll need an empty jar, doesn't matter what kind, just something that can hold what we're putting into it. And then you'll need some salt and pepper. Super easy to get. I just took the time to actually grind the peppercorns, but you could easily just get whatever comes at the store. I also like to have different candles for different rituals. For the elements, I use these little teeny tiny jar candles that I get at King Soopers, also maybe called Kroger, depending on where you live. They're super easy, super useful. I love them because they don't burn down super quickly, so you can use them again and again and again. And they also are a little bit protected, so if you do a ritual outside, they're very protected. The flame won't just go out randomly, at least hopefully. I found my silver and gold candles at a home store. They're just super sparkly, and I carved the sign of the god and the goddess into them. So whenever you're ready, feel free to take a moment to pause, catching your breath. Maybe life has been busy. Take a couple deep breaths. Grounding, centering. And then when you're ready, gathering your energy however you want to do that, and casting your circle. And however you do that. I don't typically do the 3 circles, but that's just my preference. I'm starting in the east, putting my energy into my circle, building it, going clockwise or sunwise. Making sure that the circle is above and below. Encompassing anything that you need, your altar, or maybe other space, your kitchen if you have to run out to get something that you maybe forgot. I know I've done that a time or two. And once the circle is cast, calling in your elements, again, starting in the east. It's typically associated with springtime, so I like to kind of start there with rituals that are meant to be more springtime oriented, like Ostara. Spirits of the east, spirits of air, awaken us with the spring breeze, fill our lungs and join us in celebration of the endless renewal of light and life. Spirits of the south, spirits of fire, warm us with the rising sun, quicken our hearts, and join us in celebration of the unfolding of the earth. Spirits of the West, spirits of water, wash us in gentle rain, revive our longing, and join us in celebration of boundless possibility. Spirits of the North, spirits of earth, clothe us in the finery of new growth, support our steps, and join us in celebration of a world made green again. Goddess of earth, mother of all, with love we greet you, as night and day once again greet each other in passing. Be with us, complete our circle, and help us always to see your face in all that lives. God of the growing light, with love we greet you, as night and day once again greet each other in passing. Be with us, complete our circle, and help us always to see your face in all that lives. The circle is cast, the ritual begun. May the powers of the Ancient One, source of all creation, may the powers of the goddess, bright lady of the moon, and the god, horned hunter of the sun, may the powers of the guardian spirits, rulers of the elemental realms, may the powers of the stars above and the earth below bless this time, this place, and all who gather here. Blessed be. And so we'll start the spell to restore balance in our life, taking the white candle and the black candle so that they're easily accessible. First, lighting the black candle. Sometimes life gets chaotic. We celebrate to make it right, to strike a balance on the equinox of equal day and equal night. And then lighting the white candle. Sometimes life gets chaotic. We celebrate to make it right, to strike a balance on the equinox of equal day and equal night. As we light these candles, we begin to recenter, restoring balance, welcoming in Earth's splendor. And then lighting your charcoal brick. It looks kind of like this. It might take a moment for it to catch. I know I had some people on Instagram wondering how that works. So all I do is I just keep holding the flame on here until it starts sparking, and it gives off these little sparks and crosses all the way across it. And you'll typically smell it too. And taking your balance incense, however much of it you want, usually not too much because you can always add more. Placing it on top of the charcoal, and it'll begin to smoke, releasing the scents from your incense. Return balance to our lives, using the harmony of equal day and equal night to tune our lives, aligning our intentions and actions so we may thrive. And then taking your jar, your empty jar, taking the salt, pouring some into your hand because we'll be charging it. So we want to make sure that we're charging what we're using, not the whole jar, because we might use this for something else later. And so take it and charge it with positivity and happiness. Tell it what it's going to do. Place it in the jar when you're ready. And then taking the pepper, doing the same thing, placing some of it in your hand. And this time, you're charging it with negativity and sadness. Telling it what it's going to do. And placing it in your jar when you're ready. Now the two halves, the dark and the light, the positive and the negative, the happiness and sadness are mixed together. And you'll place the lid back on. And you'll use your candles to help seal it. Be careful, obviously, with flames. You don't want to burn yourself. But letting the wax drip on. You can let it drip on the side. You can let it drip on the top. Whatever you want. The idea is that you're working to seal it. Seal the energies inside. But of course, depending on how big the candles are, you may not have a whole lot of wax. So it might not look like what you see on TV or anything like that. And while you're doing this, you can envision balance coming into your life. The two halves mixing. Take your time. There's no need to rush. This is important work. Maybe think also about what needs balance in your life. Maybe you work too much. Maybe you don't spend enough time with your family. Maybe you spend too much time on Facebook or whatever social media you like to use. Maybe you eat too much food. Or maybe you eat not enough. I know this year hasn't felt like there's been much balance. COVID has wreaked havoc for many, 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 many people. So this is another idea that you can use to help bring balance with that. Using your energy to help bring more vaccines to people so we can start to return to whatever our new normal will be. Remembering to take the other candle, whichever one you chose first, set that down, bring the other one over, and start mixing that wax in with the first one. Still envisioning that balance. Taking this time to be present. Trying not to think about the laundry list of things that we have to do later. I know it can be hard. When you feel like they're equally mixed, setting them back down. You can place the spell jar wherever you want, maybe in the living room, somewhere where you spend a lot of time. Maybe not so much in the bedroom. Typically, I prefer to keep most of my spell work out of the bedroom unless it's like dream spells, just so that it doesn't interfere with my sleep. And if you want, you can either blow out the candles, the black and the white, or stuff them out, whatever you prefer, or you can also let them burn down. Typically, when it comes to things like this, I'll let them burn down. And then when you're ready to move on, with the magic done here today, we continue the cycle to stabilize our lives for time eternal. As we align forces within and without to equalize and balance out as the chaos dies. We release this magic into the air, so mote it be, into the goddess's care. At this point, you can also do cakes and ale, or whatever it is that you want to call it. We didn't do a lot of energy work today, so you might not need so much the grounding, but I know a lot of people like to celebrate by eating and drinking a little something. If you want to do that, feel free to pause the video and come back to it. And when you're done with that, we'll release the god and the goddess and then the elements, and we'll move on. God of the growing light, for the spring, for your warmth, for your power, for the lengthening day, for the energy that surrounds us, for your presence within our circle, we thank you and ask your blessing until we gather here again. Goddess of earth, mother of all, for the spring, for your love, for your power, for the pomegranate, for the fertility of the world we share, for your presence within our circle, we thank you and ask your blessing until we gather here again. Spirits of the north, we thank you for your presence here and ask for your blessing as you depart. May there be peace between us now and forever. Spirits of the west, we thank you for your presence here and ask for your blessing as you depart. May there be peace between us now and forever. Spirits of the south, we thank you for your presence here and ask for your blessing as you depart. May there be peace between us now and forever. Spirits of the east, we thank you for your presence here and ask for your blessing as you depart. May there be peace between us now and forever. And then taking the time to release your circle, however it is that you do that. The circle is open and yet unbroken. May the love of the goddess be ever in your heart. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again. Thank you for joining this ritual. I have many more on my YouTube channel. Feel free to play with those all you want, and I hope to see you again.